One second.
Where is it?
Oh, the Harry.
Oh, Terry.
Hammer. No, I have a hammer.
Not legit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, meeting called to order 6:46. Roll call, President Ganda. Present. Director Ahmedani.
Absent.
Director Khan.
Present.
Director Salisbury.
Present.
Director Redwaj.
Present.
Director Dunson.
Present.
Director Ogle.
Here.
Vice Chair Senate Chakraborty.
Present.
Senator Gurley.
Here.
Senator Carter.
Present.
Senator Odira.
Late.
Senator Beather.
Present.
Senator Mohammed.
Absent.
Senator Morris.
Present.
Senator Sturgeon.
Absent.
Senator Smith.
Here.
And Senator Wing.
Present.
All right, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented. Vice Chair Chakraborty.
I entertain a motion to amend the agenda with Senate Resolution 2019-003.
What is it on?
2019-003. I apologize.
Is there a second? Senator Friend?
My second.
Okay. I entertain a motion to amend the agenda. I'm out of it. Where was it?
Everyone
All
in
in
favor?
All in favor, I'm sorry. Okay. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, agenda is approved as amended. I entertain a motion to approve the previous meeting minutes. Senator Carter,
I move to approve the previous meeting minutes.
is there a second? Senator Burley?
A second.
All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the previous meeting minutes are approved as presented. Moving on to director reports, starting with President Gana.
Hello, everyone. Today was quite an eventful day. We had Halia with approximately 300 students and Michigan-Flint, which is a Michigan-Flint workshop, which is a new event, but wasn't really bad because it had 15 students in half Israel. So we're hoping to do this event like once a semester. So hopefully the next administration we will carry that on. I want to thank all students that came to the student focus town hall. We had almost 40 students and we got really good feedback. And for those who were not present, we are still looking to take nomination and comments by emailing ask-flintchancellor@umich.edu. So last week during the spring break, Vice President and I met with Chief Hall, and he said he will include Walmart in the safe ride route instead of Meyer, as it is currently. So this shopping route is only for the weekends. He will also make sure there's a clear, safe ride time operation on their website. And additionally, safe ride now includes Genesis Community Health Center. And also in DPS website, there will be a medical taxi available for students in case someone needs medical attention. So all you need to do is call DPS. The medical taxi is not an ambulance. So it's for non-emergency. With that, I yield.
Thank you. So last week on Tuesday, March 5th, me and President Ganda met with Heather Johnson at the Center of Gender and Sexuality to discuss ideas regarding the Title IX resolution that we're working on. We'll be working closely with her in order to design the next step action plan that the university is going to take in order to support and protect impacted students. The Title IX Resolution Committee has been formed, and it consists of me, myself, Director Denson, and Senator Wang. We have finalized our mission for the resolution and have shared that with Senate to receive support. Our next step is to collect data on resource availability on campus and off campus, design advocacy opportunities, and work on executing a plan. And then also seeking out more information about the administration's goals moving forward. We'll be looking to finalize language on that by next week, hopefully. The next thing is, I guess I'll just do this. With that, I yield to, what a day. Director.
Thank you. So yesterday we have our another funding board meeting. So there are 3 organizations applied for funding. We approved one of their requests and deferred 2 of the organizations' requests due to the lack of sufficient information to us. So we'll be taking the votes the next week, given that they replied to our email communication, and then we'll take a vote. And after the disbursement of yesterday's meeting, our balance remaining is $8,203. That I
Thank you, Director Silsby.
One moment, sorry.
There.
So, there was publication that has begun for the Google project from ITS that's also being distributed on SG social media. So there's flyers regarding just announcing the Google moves away. That was so far it's been posted on Facebook and Twitter for SG and has been emailed from ITS. So that kind of begins like the kind of co-joined event or co-joined process of publication between ITS and SG. Aside from that, the My Degree Plan flyer was finished, published, printed, and posted campus-wide. The Chancellor Search Committee flyer was posted and printed for the event that happened yesterday. And then still collecting bios for the SG website, so the newest members will also be sending their personal bios on the website to me and President Gonda. And with that, I yield.
Director Ruggiero?
So we got final approval from housing, and we will be having SG meet and greet on March 25th in Riverfront Lobby from 1 to 5 p.m. This is a way to expand SG and get to know more students, especially graduate students that we have not been doing meet and greets in the past in other buildings. So hopefully having more information and more people get to join us. With President Gonda and Vice Chair Chakraborty, I've met Gano Phillips, but specific to student concerns from the survey, I presented some questions, one of them which was the upper division course credits from Ann Arbor and Flint. I will be reaching out to deans and the provost for this concern. I also asked, many students had concerns about few advisors in College of Arts and Sciences, and the dean explained that as of right now, 80% of the students are being covered by the advisors within the department, and they're planning to add 2 more advisors. As of right now, they're not sure when it will be done, but they seem to have this done. They think that it could be done by the end of summers. One more of the student concerns that we had was to have a streamlined communication between the departments and advisors, and as well as the registrars, because many times there aren't enough courses available on SIS for students to register and make their degree plan. And for that, I will again be reaching out to provost. With that, the second part of the survey, I have to still get that approved, but as per the deadline of March 15th, we will be taking that survey out, and we're planning to reach more than 100 students by the end of April. With that, I yield.
Thank you. Director Dunson?
We're working on a couple of resolutions. So as Vice President Jarrett said, we'll be working on a Title IX resolution
Hoping to get something drafted this weekend. The purpose of the resolution is to respond to the new Title IX guidelines and ask the university to take steps that ensure our students are still protected under the new policies. I also sent out a copy of Ann Arbor's resolution responding to the new felony disclosure policy. So if anyone has any feedback on that, please let me know soon. I'll probably also be drafting a resolution on that this weekend as well. We're still working on a resolution to just reactivate the diversity committee. Right now, some concerns are that there's no students really involved in formulating the charge for that committee. So we're going to be drafting a resolution kind of recommending a charge and insisting that students be a part of that committee. And then the last resolution I'm working on is recently we realized that there's really no way for student government to make like official statements through email. The listserv currently only allows us to send messages that are promoting our events. So I believe that us as student government, we should have the ability to make statements and provide information to students via email. So we would be drafting a resolution on that issue. Other than that, Director Over and I will be going to Dearborn on Saturday the 23rd for students of Michigan committee meeting. So if anyone has anything they would like me to add to that agenda, please let me know.
Thank you. Director Ogle.
All right, so today I'm going to be presenting a resolution with changes to the USC that I've been working on for a while. I'm also in the works. I have a resolution for the One University campaign. I'm hoping to get that completed over the weekend by next week. I'm also hoping to work on some more changes to the USC and start pushing those out as soon as possible. That's probably not going to happen for a little while, considering the Students of Michigan campaign, as well as the committee, as well as the One University campaign is kind of heating up. So I got to focus on that right now, combined with the coursework. So I'm going to work on the and with that, I yield.
Thank you. Advisor report.
Everybody should have received a copy of the invitation to dinner at the Chancellor's House on April 15th. It looks like this. If you haven't seen the email, please check. Please RSVP whether you can attend or not. Either way, you should respond to the email for RSVP.
Senator Hurd.
Who sent the email?
It would come from Chancellor Events.
Okay, moving on to University Committee reports. Are there any University Committee reports? President Ganda.
So, Chukwueze met this morning. There was a call talk to the Council of Deans about having Blackboard open early, but a complete consensus was not met. She's waiting to hear back from the registrar if there's any other way to send information to students, and faculty said they can push out information to students through SIS. Next, she talked about Tiffany Mara, director of the Center for Education for Women in Ann Arbor, came to visit our campus and strongly advised to inform students about the various scholarships opportunities that CEW Plus has to offer, like they are from 5,000 and up. The criteria for eligibility has expanded to touch various populations on campus, and the deadline to apply was March 12th, which was this week. But for next year, we'll make sure it is more advertised. Next, Nick Kingsley talked about the last faculty council meeting, which was this week. And the One U campaign gave a presentation and presented seven goals, which are advocacy in Lansing, which means they would like to reclassify the amount we get per student from the state to be equitable. The Go Blue guarantee to be on all three campuses, diversity, equity, and inclusion funding all three campuses, salary parity for Leos, study abroad funding for Flint and Dearborn, to extend legal and medical services to Flint and Dearborn, and the last point was intra-campus transfer policies. In the same meeting, there was a presentation from the staff about the new policy about felony disclosures and SPG disclosure, because apparently the new SPG is too vague. And I informed the committee that student government is preparing a resolution to oppose the felony disclosure, and SGs also in favor of the 1U campaign. For the 1U campaign, there will be a letter presented to the Board of Regents meeting. And the last thing we talked about was the Department of Geography, Planning, and Environment is closing. And with that, I yield.
Senator Benton?
The committee was not entirely aware that student government had a major role to play in the voter-friendly campus. So we brought it up. Well, you carried that.
Okay. Director Sanford? Was it?
As I mentioned earlier, publication work began already, and the way it was kind of branded, at least from the SG side, was it was captioned with "Let us know what you think." So I'm trying to garner feedback through social media, and that was discussed during the Google Migration Advisory Board meeting. That was one of the things that the project manager at ITS discussed as a possible method. The first or the next group of users is being transitioned right now to Google. So that is select student staff, select university staff. Some vice chancellors are going to be moving pretty soon, and admin staff as well. There was also reports of issues with email forwarding from the @Michigan-Flint address to the @UMich address, and that issue is being investigated right now. So if anybody notices any issues, like if you send an email to a unique name @UMich and they never get the email, please send me an email and let me know. And then I have some firm dates regarding the transition as well in terms of timeline. On June 23rd, Gmail and the Google product suite will be activated for students. And on that same day, a portal will be made available to migrate your data from Outlook to Gmail. And then on April 29th, there is going to be the password expiration. So people with passwords older than a year will have their passwords deactivated or expired, but then they will be directed to change those passwords. And then during the meeting, it was also formalized to have a co-branded campaign between SG and ITS. And I will discuss with them in the next meeting I have, talking about putting actual logos, SG logos as well as ITS logos on any publication. And then alumni and retirees will be migrated before students in May. With that,
George?
You're going to comments first.
Any question? Okay. So, what will happen to the alumni account? The Gmail.
So right now the plan is going to be the same as how it is in Ann Arbor right now, and you'll just have an alumni account forever.
Thank you. The Academic Standards Committee will be meeting on Wednesday, 20th, and I will be bringing up a concern to the agenda for the displaying of courses in SIS ahead of time. Thank you.
Senator Wing?
The graduate board met on March 11th. We reviewed and approved the minutes from the February 25th meeting. Next, we went over the National Public Health Program review. Looking over it, there was missing information and information that we need more clarification on. Unfortunately, there was no faculty from the program present to be able to explain further, so we weren't comfortable taking a vote on that. So we're looking to see if a faculty member can join us for the next meeting. We also went over a presentation regarding the results of the 2018 graduate student survey. We did not have enough time to finish that, so we're going to push that to the next meeting. And the next meeting is going to be on Monday, March 25th. That will be it.
Thank you. Director Denson?
The General Education Curriculum Committee met this afternoon. We didn't have any major things going on today, but we had a discussion about the FYE peer observations in preparation for our meeting with the um, the peers and the instructors on March 28th. The committee did decide that for all FYE courses, because it can be kind of difficult to find, for students to find the course descriptions for those classes at times. So decided the best way to kind of handle that is SIS has like a notes portion when you go to schedule your class. So they want all the FYE courses to have their descriptions in that notes area. And then we also discussed the presentation of results from the voting on the Gen Ed motions, which we're still waiting for votes from College of Arts and Sciences, and those will be presented to governing faculty on March 27th. That a year.
Thank you. Senator Carter?
The University Outreach Faculty Advisory Committee met yesterday. We discussed the civic engagement grants that some professors have been using in their classes. And we discussed writing a proposal to continue these grants. It was discussed possibly making these a regularly occurring thing for classes that are regularly that have regular civic engagement as part of the class. And it was also suggested that we divide the application into two, one for currently ongoing grants and one for new grant applications. We will also seek to compile the current information we have on the grants and such as the average amount of grant, each grant reports and the sustainability of them. It was also discussed looking into the budget of grants to if it was the appropriate amount, whether too much or not enough. And currently the budget is at $30,000 a year. The committee also decided it's important to be more aggressive in getting out word of these grants to professors so they can make use of them more. As well as adding clarifying language to the grants to more explicitly say what they can and cannot cover. The next committee looked over some rubrics for scholarships and being them to they were being satisfactory for the application process. So, as I'm a student, I'm excluded from making any scholarship-related decisions. And then the committee is going to have a phone conference with a couple faculty members at the Anamba campus. We weren't able to get their titles. We talked with them about how they did a conceptualizing public engagement series, how they got a whole bunch of different groups from across the campus together in one area to discuss how they do public engagement and what their goals are for it and how to more effectively do it. After that conversation, the committee discussed how we might do such a series on the Flint campus as well, and what groups will be involved in it. We decided on groups like the Center for Learning, the Cultural Center, and of course, Student Government. The first meeting of such a group will probably be held in fall after either of this.
Thank you. Senator Miller?
The Food Services Advisory Committee is set to meet on March 25th.
No? Okay. I'm definitely having one of those days, so I completely forgot my paperwork that I was going to present to the library committee, so I'm going to go off of what I remember, so I apologize. I'll bring that next week, anything that I missed at least. So they did address two major student concerns, being library security and the pest issues, or the past pest issues, I should say. They wanted me to assure students that they have been working with DPS to have student patrol officers present 40 hours a week to ensure that someone is there at all times in the library. And then the other thing was regarding the pest issues, they have been doing regular checkups on the affected areas. And they also have set up traps and they do spray the area frequently. So that was another thing. And then the director of the library, Bob Kovac, has been invited to come speak to students, like at student government meeting, at the student government meeting, and to talk about resources available in the library and also the improvements being made to library security in general.
The tornado sirens are going off. You guys want to join us in going down to the basement and taking cover?
Mark the time.
Okay, meeting suspended and then go home.
Tornado warning in area
The
two.
meeting will continue, yeah.
7:30 p.m.
I didn't get it.
We're
Meeting resumed, 7:46 p.m. Yeah. Senate. What? Oh, yeah, my bad. Do you guys want to do Senate reports at the end or no? At the end, is that preferred?
Can we just skip it?
Do you have Senate reports?
I-
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so President Gonda, Director Bhagwaj, and I met Dean Gano Phillips of CAS today regarding the issues faced by engineering students. She was surprised that students did not know about where the money is going since she had a meeting with the faculty in December or January. She said the increase of $70 per credit hour for upper level engineering courses was to help with the salary differential for the engineering professors, the need for technical staff, consumables, and maintenance of engineering spaces. She does not think of it as a lab fee, but as a course prefix fee. When asked why the increase was so high, she said that it's her personal philosophy to increase it a lot at once instead of increasing it a little frequently. She has also said that she will talk to the department chair of engineering regarding the course offerings.
Thank you. Senator Carter?
Yes, the labor rights implemented activity and clear commitments from speakers to speak out. I think that will be postponed. Hopefully,
Thank you. Senator Ogier?
I was able to communicate with MP and we will be having a meeting tomorrow.
Thank you.
I received all the documentation for the SIL scholarships today and reviewing them as soon as possible.
Thank you. No one else?
I'm still reaching out to the banks and restaurants to get information on, for the banks, loans and what they offer for students as far as, student loans or grants and stuff. And restaurants, which ones offer, free meals for kids with, for students with families. I'm still working with that. Yeah.
All right. So moving on to Senate Resolution 2019-003 presented by Director Ogle.
All right, so this is just the official resolution version of the previous edited version that I showed you guys that was all highlighted with the changes. So I'm just going to read through the official language of the actual changes that I have here. So this is revisions to section 5 of the Unified Student Code, attendance and tardy. Whereas the attendance and tardy section of the Unified Student Code is unclear and confusing and is in therefore need of revision. And whereas this section be amended to separate the points into two separate categories, requirements and definitions, and repercussions. And whereas under requirements and definitions, we included 10 points. 1, excused absence. Member informs Director of Government and Legal Affairs before a meeting or event at least before midnight the day before a mandatory meeting. 2, a student government member is allowed 2 excused absences for mandatory meetings per month. 3, unexcused absence. A member informs Director of Government and Legal Affairs after midnight the day of a mandatory meeting. 4, a student government member allowed 1 unexcused absence for a mandatory meeting per month. 5, tardy. A member is more than 5 minutes late to a meeting, mandatory meeting time without sufficient explanation. The explanation from the member will be judged by the executive board. 6, a student government member is allowed 1 tardy for mandatory meetings per month. 7, attendance at General Assembly, Student Government Committee, and University Committee meetings are mandatory. 8, members that cannot make meeting times due to an academic conflict, class time only, can be addressed by the executive board on a per semester basis. 9, quorum shall be 2/3 Senate attendance. 10, each student government member required to contribute at least 2 hours a week in office hours and record them to Director of Administrative Affairs. And whereas under repercussions, we included 4 points. 1, in the event that a student government member exceeds the allotted 1 excused absences per month. Sorry, that should be edited to 2. the member will be fined 3% per month of the original semester stipend. 2, in the event that a student government member exceeds the allotted 1 unexcused absence per month, the member will be fined 5% of their original semester stipend. 3, if any student government member exceeds the allotted 1 tardy per month, the member will be fined 1.5 per month of their original stipend. 4, during the term of office, the Director of Administrative and Legal Affairs shall report to the Director of Government and Legal Affairs of any member that has exceeded the limit of 1 tardy, 2 excused absences, or 1 unexcused absence per month, so that the Committee on Government and Legal Affairs can proceed with conduct review.
All right, I now open the floor to comments, questions, concerns. Nobody? Okay. Senator Otero.
Yes, I appreciate how clear it is, and I think it's pretty obvious what would happen if we did not follow this, so I prefer this to what we had before, so thank you so much for advising.
Anyone else? Any feedback? Okay. I entertain a motion to adopt Senate Resolution 2019. Yes.
I motion to adopt Senate Resolution 2019-003.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Morris? All in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Senate Resolution 2019-003 passes. Thank you. All right. Before I open the floor to any comments, questions, and concerns from senators and directors, are there any from our audience?
I just want to ask clarification on the safe ride change. So is Walmart replacing Meijer, or is Walmart now in addition to Meijer in the mall?
Walmart will be replacing Meijer for fall.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Do you feel that it would be, that it's safer at all? I say that because which Meijer would they be going to, on Corona?
Yes.
Okay.
The Meijer, they were going to the Meijer.
I mean, the Walmart.
The Walmart, they'll be going to the Walmart on Corona.
Yes.
Right.
Do you feel that that is safer? Because there are some times when that Walmart can be kind of sketchy. In a sense of like the time frames of, different times when you go there. There have been some issues with that Walmart. Do you think it would be safe for the students?
So wouldn't a university officer be delivering the students to the location?
It won't be necessarily university officer. It can be a student driving the van.
But that is still a uniform
Yes.
university official.
Yes.
Who has the ability to radio into the phone police, right?
Yes.
I just feel like it's the student's responsibility. DPS is just providing the service of taking you there. But you can always choose not to go. You can always choose to go somewhere else.
Vice Chair Shurtleff.
I've been to that Walmart multiple times, and I know what you're talking about when you say it's sketchy, but I've only seen that happen around after 10 p.m. If it's a 24/7 Walmart too, I think so. It's only late at night when it gets that bad, but this would be during the day.
Yes.
Weekends during
Well, it
the
would
day.
be during safe ride hours, correct?
No, the weekend shopping will be during the day. There's like, I think it's from noon, I don't know what time it ends, but it's like during the day, not night.
And it's the weekend when most families go shopping too. So.
Thank you.
Thank you for raising that up.
Anyone else? Okay. I now open the floor to comments, questions, and concerns from our senators and directors, starting with questions that we already advised.
I just need to take an audit. Senator White, have you worked on campus in the last 12 months?
Yes.
Senator Smith, have you worked on campus? Senator Rowley? Senator Morse? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No.
Director Khan, have you worked on campus in the last 12 months? Vice Chair Shuffleworth, have you worked on campus the last 12 months? Senator Carter?
No.
Senator O'Dira? And Senator Buck. That's all I needed, thank you.
So I just wanted to give a quick update. For the One University campaign, I have now joined the steering committee for them, so I'm going to kind of be working on that with a lot of my time. Just wanted to update student government on that. And then I also wanted, due to the recent events of today, bring up that it should probably be discussed the poor safety reaction to the tornado warning. I think it's a pretty terrible idea to walk outside during a tornado warning. I also think that the area that people were corralled into is a very kind of small space, certainly not adequate enough to contain students. So I really think a new plan needs to be drawn up or at least discussed with DPS.
Are you talking about before or after the?
Just both. It's just, it was clearly, people were not prepared for the event that took place. And I think this campus needs to be a little bit better at safety issues like this.
I would also like to point out the lack of alarms in this room.
Yes, we also didn't hear the alarms in this
Michigan
room.
rooms are completely just cut off, I feel.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the Michigan rooms, and so we've been able to ascertain things were a little slow tonight. But the committee that you'll want to speak with is the All Hazards Planning Team, and the chair is Mike Lane.
Okay.
And I'm sure there'll be a debrief about tonight. I'm almost guaranteed. Yeah. A campus-wide debrief.
Thank you for bringing that up. Director Redbush?
I have a question from Director Denson. What time is the meeting for Saturday for the event?
It's next Saturday, the 23rd at 2 p.m.
And how long will it last?
Until 4. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? No? Oh, President Gandhi?
I ask all the SU members to stay behind for the closed meeting. Thank you.
No? All right. Thanks, everyone. Meeting adjourned at 7:58. Thank you, guys.
You know the call I was getting? That was from.
Yeah, me too.
At 4:30, I guess bring any